Embattled minister has resigned. This is Uche Nnaji, immediate past Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology in Nigeria. Recall in our last video, we made analysis of a broad spectrum of issues of law relating to the allegations that were made about him. And just yesterday, while we were about to sleep, we got the news, breaking news of his resignation. The news was broken by Bayo Onanuga, the spokesperson to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he said on his Twitter page, President Tinubu accepts the resignation of Uche Nnaji as minister. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has accepted the resignation of Uche Nnaji, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, following some allegations against him. President Tinubu appointed Nnaji in August 2023. He resigned today in a letter thanking the president for allowing him to serve Nigeria. Nnaji said he has been a target. Nnaji said he has been a target of blackmail by political opponents. President Tinubu thanked him for his service and wished him well in future endeavors. Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy. Now, I think this very paragraph was not necessary. Nnaji said he has been a target of blackmail by political opponents. Is that the reason why he has resigned? You know, we have to communicate the proper thing to the public, both within and outside Nigeria. That's not the reason why he has resigned, right? So I think that this very paragraph wasn't necessary at all. So what follows? We look at the issues of law now. Now, the ex-minister should be taken in quickly for questioning. He has thrown in a towel. Allegation of falsification of certificates, forgery was made against him. And he had opportunity to say, no, it is not true. I have the certificate. It was issued to me by University of Nigeria and Nsukka. This is it. It's genuine. He had opportunity to also challenge the National Youth Service Corps to say, why did you reject my certificate? This certificate was issued to me by you, but he never did any of that. He rather resigned, okay? That means that there is something somewhere and there is a question to answer. So, as would be expected to be done in any democracy in the world, okay? The ex-minister should be taken in quickly for questioning. The Attorney General of the Federation should deploy his team to gather the necessary evidence and proceed to charge him to court for certificate forgery. That's it, which has already been criminalized by our laws. So it's nothing new. It's not that the Attorney General is going to look for the kind of law that will be suitable. The laws are already there for the Federal Attorney General to make use of. This is the list that the citizens of this country would expect from the office of the Attorney General at this point. We need this to be done as quickly as possible. That's the expectation of the law, and that's the expectation of the citizens. Resignation from the seats does not stop prosecution. I think that should be clear enough. The fact that one has resigned, the issue is not the seats. The issue is about the certificates that you presented. So resigning from the seats doesn't on its own or shouldn't stop prosecution. Apology, if any. Let's assume that before the end of today, Uche Nnaji makes an apology, apologizing to the president, apologizing to the country, and also apologizing to his family, right? And says, I am sorry about what's happened, or whatever. Note, apology does not stop prosecution. Because, I mean, you can apologize in church, you can apologize in the mosque. But the law is very different from religious pardon. The law stands on its own, and therefore apology, being sorry and all that doesn't stop prosecution. Once an offense has been committed, the law is expected to take its course. That's the same way it's done to ordinary citizens of the country when they commit offenses. Whether they apologize or not, they are taken before the court, especially crimes against the state. They are taken before the court, and the law is allowed to take its course. Now, he can be prosecuted under the following laws. One, a state's law. In this case, it will be the law of Enugu State, which has provision for the term of imprisonment to be served in the event of being found guilty. Uche is still presumed innocent at this point in the eyes of the law. Okay, but if he's found guilty, okay, the state high courts will make a pronouncement and then show the punishment for him to go through. It can also be taken to court through the penal code. The penal code has 14 years imprisonment if he's found guilty. It can also be taken to the court through the criminal code, and the criminal code has 3 years imprisonment if he's found guilty. The Attorney General of the Federation can make use of any of these laws. He has the prosecutorial powers and then can make use of any of these laws against Uche Nnaji that has just resigned. He can also be charged to court under the Miscellaneous Offences Act. And the punishment here is the biggest. It is 21 years imprisonment without option of fine. No fine. So you go straight 21 years, no option of fine, because most times the big boys will always pay the fines and go once the option of fine is given. But in this case, there's no option of fine. So it will now depend on the Federal Attorney General to choose which of the laws to prosecute him with, in this case. Now, a particular registrar had previously written to somebody, to an institution that asked for information. And the registrar from University of Nigeria and Soka said that this guy has a clean bill of health. He had graduated from our university. Now, another letter came saying that he did not have what he is said to have had. That registrar that first wrote the letter informing the world that Uche Nnaji has the certificates in issue, that registrar should be invited, okay, for interrogation. If he or she is found to have lied, the person should be charged to court also alongside with Uche. Now, most forgery of certificates, academic certificates, they are not done solo. They are usually done in connivance with people. People do it to get money, to do this and that. So there is need also for the prosecution to spread its interrogation nets and get to the root of this to know who would have assisted Uche in preparing one certificate or the other. That's the only way this menace can be tackled in the institutions of higher learning. Now, citizens expect that this matter should be treated as soon as possible and should not be treated as a sacred or abandoned matter. It shouldn't be treated as a sacred or abandoned matter. Citizens are eager to know what will happen in the coming days to the gentleman minister who has turned in his resignation, which is the proper thing to do when issues like these have come and you do not have, that kind of watertight explanation to give in the circumstance, and he has resigned. Beautiful. But the law should take its course, and that's the least that the citizens of this country are expecting from the Federal Attorney General in the coming days. Many thanks for watching.